people, what is good, yo? Guys, I have been seeing quite a bit happening with this show, and to think that things are popping off the way that they are with just our main character being in this position, not only being in the position, but us just knowing how much goes into all of this at the end of the day, kind of makes it even more funny on how quickly things can pop off and not only pop off, but just what people go through, what people have experienced already. It's obvious who kind of is suffering from this situation going off the way that it did. Being the old boy who got blackmailed, we learned just how unique some of these abilities actually can be, which is pretty scary at the end of the day. Um, Not only did we get a good understanding as to where um, where certain people's abilities are manifesting from, I guess you can say. Um, with one of them being somebody who, trusted the wrong person to keep a secret and winds up spilling it and just putting her and the teacher that she knew in a terrible spot. And that in itself helped her manifest what her power actually wanted to be. So it's stuff like that that actually has me more and more curious as to where all of this can go at the end of the day, because you gotta imagine anybody who kind of put forward to understand uh, certain aspects of these powers, there's going to be a lot of them, and I'm kind of happy that we get to see just their thought process, just how many people have so many different interesting powers and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it obviously seems more or less like everybody's going to be relatively unique, and after we find out how unique they are, we'll then probably see how quickly everything kind of changes for certain characters, because not only did we see a whole lot pop off in the grand scheme of certain people just not liking the situation they're put in, we also got to see just how straightforward some of these people can be, or, oblivious, I guess you can say as well. Trusting someone so quickly as our main character and this girl who has like these cat ears or dog ears, it just goes to show you how little they were, or how little she was thinking about this person becoming a threat, right? Like, she clearly wasn't looking as much into him being an enemy as she was, seeing him as an animal, which she kept calling him, by the way. Wow, that person just stole my kill. Alright, cool. Calling him an animal and believing that he's an animal was the true reason why we saw her give so much, trust to him so quickly, including when he's like, "Oh, you gotta take off your clothes or they'll get dirty, and then you can climb at me." And she's like, "Oh, okay, whatever." Like, that's fine by me. Let's do it. So, we obviously have another person who, like the Claire, has been inside and can actually sense everything he's feeling. So she's actually not that special in that regards. But the problem being, Claire's just a lot better at being in control in that situation. So without her being in control and being in there, it really uh, puts our main guy in a bad position, simply because of how easily it would be to, you know, fight this version of the people dressed up in the costume without having someone like Claire at the reins, actually controlling the movements and stuff like that. He's about to learn real quick that without one of those people who know what they're doing inside of him, he might just be putting himself at a bigger disadvantage than he actually knows. So we'll have to see. just how that plays out for him. But like I see it, it isn't looking so good right now, right? Like it just doesn't seem like everything is going to go into their favor at this point, which is fine by me. I think the shows nowadays need to do that more often, where you just feel like the hero might actually have a chance to lose in some regards, right? Like they're not all powerful where they just can't lose at all. They make it a little bit better where they're in situations where not only do they probably have to protect someone more than they already were going to, but if they don't protect them, they're going to end up dead sooner than later because the person who winds up finding the wallet, unfortunately, is related to somebody our main character actually wants to get a hold of, being Claire. And since that is the case, and they're about to have to deal with this in whatever shape or form, it's not looking too good for the girl inside the suit. They now have that girl's information. They now have, um, I mean, she's not going to share her secret, so she's not going to get killed off by her own teammate. But we know that if that wallet is with the people like Claire's sister and her group, that means our character is going to smell and find them just naturally after the wallet is in their possession. So, yeah, it's not looking so hot for our boy. Including if he did not want to actually run into this person again. But it looks like that will have to be the case because now everything is popping off the way that they want it, and the way that they want it is probably to have the people come out on their own and try to attack them. Like why work harder when you can work smarter, and your opponents are pretty much coming straight to you and not in full force. So that's pretty much what I see going on. They're about to be in a position where they probably can't take back what they would want to take back. And that's okay, just because hopefully they can figure out some type of way or shape or form to handle all this. But as of now, it might not be that easy, right? Like they might not have as easy of a time getting away from these ridiculously powerful people. And because of that, we're going to just have to see what is going to happen while they're traveling. Because I'm pretty sure they all know what happens when they break their promises, aka the guy with the telescope or whatever. I think he's probably the reason why he's probably a telescope or like he looks the way he does. Probably because he's a stalker, right? Like he automatically went into watching and lurking instead of actually just offering to help and being like, "Oh yeah, I'll just come with you guys and make it easier on you and help you look for your wallet." Nah, he's just gonna sit and stalk instead. So it's it's cool that the alien pretty much is just giving people powers relative to their personality, relative to their wants and stuff like that. So you kind of get a better explanation as to why he would do this or why other people would do this, knowing that this is some of the stuff they believe is probably the best thing they can do or the best thing they're worth, which makes sense in the grand scheme of how the story is being told. Um, we hear that the sister is the one that wanted him to turn into the monster suit that he's in right now. So these are the types of things that we still gotta just like get an understanding of. Why does she want that? What does she think she would benefit out of him being it and not just giving someone else the power? How did she not end up, in the suit? Like why was he so far away when the transformation happened and stuff like that? Because if I know I'm trying to transform somebody, I'm probably going to be right next to him, right? Like, I'm going to be pretty close to him, so as soon as it happens, I can be there and try to help them understand what's going on, or at least make sure they know that they're not alone, or so. I don't know, just something to make them feel better about the situation. Instead, we have someone like Claire, who's just a blackmailing goddess. She's been blackmailing people since every single chance she can get. And we're seeing it at full effect here as well with now knowing a secret, but if this secret is let out, she will lose her head. So we'll see just how good she is at keeping secrets and what she should be keeping from these people. But overall, I think we're going to be getting quite a bit of nuance here soon when it comes down to what he can be capable of with different people inside of him, if that is a thing, or if he's just, like I said, going to be at a huge disadvantage with somebody inside of him not giving him nearly as much, like assistance, so to speak. And without the assistance, how does he still fight as well? Does he still, even try to take life, or is he going to put himself in more jeopardy so he doesn't take life? He's going to try to play it safe so he doesn't have to kill when he doesn't have the killer instincts of Claire egging him on to do so, right? So I'm really interested in that point. But not only that, it looks like we'll be seeing just what everybody's capable of on the other team too as well if they run into them. So with all that being said, everybody, I hope you're having an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I definitely want to talk to you sooner than later. Hit me up in the comments if you have some stuff to talk about this episode, and I'll be dropping another video, so I hope you guys check that out as well. With that being said, peace.